Um, this is Messages from Theos on 17 March 2013. Okay. Earlier you were speaking to us, Karen, about unconditional love and what is it, how do you find it, how do you become it. We spoke with you about the fact that in the 5D world, it is not a matter of raising your vibration. It is about becoming the vibration that you wish to inhabit. So, for instance, unconditional love is a vibration, and you are to become that vibration. You are to bring that vibration into yourself and actually be a match to it, to be on the same vibrational tone as the vibration of what you want to bring in. It's not a matter of reaching for it and tuning yourself to it. It's a matter of tuning yourself to it and becoming it. How do you do that? It's a mindset, it's a perspective. So setting the perspective of unconditional love is sort of the same as with your computers, defining the operating system. And from that operating system, everything else will fall into place. This is how unconditional love is integrated. Now you say, how do you become unconditional love? Well, first of all, you already are unconditional love, as we told you earlier when you were standing in your kitchen. You are unconditional love. So it's a matter of being what you already are, uncovering this hidden gem in you. Not that it's hidden completely, but there's a lot of things that cover it up. So it's a matter of dropping attachments so that the aspect of yourself that you wish to bring forward is free to shine through you. What are attachments? Well, attachments are things that cover up your true self. Attachments are things that you hold on to as truth. While they may be true in the moment, they may be true temporally, they are actually not true. The only truth is love. If it's not love, it's not truth. That is the absolute. So in dropping attachments, you drop the illusion of separateness. Because there is no separation. There is only love. There is only connection. There is only oneness. And any truth, quote unquote, that makes you think that you are separate is in fact an attachment. So for instance, your body in and of itself is a bit of an illusion because there is no true separation between you and you. You and you being you and your spirit self, but also you and your cat, you and your dog, you and your chair. There is no separation, only the illusion so that you can have the experience of sitting in a chair. If it would be like white space sitting in white space, it's only white space. So you draw lines in order to see some differences and have some experiences. But in the 5D, those illusions become all the more clear. You still have the illusions, but what you don't have is the idea that there's this separation. You understand the oneness, you understand the connectivity, but then you are still allowing yourself to have the experience of 5D. Does that make sense? Take a deep breath. Okay. We are telling the channel to picture a white room, just completely white, with white space, white air, white, everything is white. Now we can say to you, there's a chair in that room, but since it's white, it blends completely into the background. In order to experience the chair, you have to know that it's there. So what happens? A chair is formed, a chair can be then experienced. In order to sit in the chair, you also have to have form. But the idea that it is anything separate and the wholeness of what it's part of is disappearing in 3D. In 5D. In 3D, you didn't know that it was all connected. You had the idea, but in order to actually experience it, you had to go up and out of yourself to reach to your higher self. In 5D, the information is in you. It's a knowing inside. The knowledge is inside. And it's not a knowing in your head like in 3D, it's a knowing in your heart. The heart center is the knowing in 5D. So how do you experience unconditional love? One is you get into your heart. You start thinking from your heart center. And you start feeling from your heart center. 2, you remember that there is no separation. Those are the keys. No separation, and thinking and feeling from your heart center. The 3D mind is made so that you cannot see things. That is why you had to sort of go up and out, up and out, up and out. And now you have to go within. You have to go within. But it's all in there. You already are love. You already are joy. You already are all these things that you want to be. And just remembering and dropping the attachments to the illusions that make you think that you are separate. When you get down into the heart, you know you are not. Now the question arises, is there responsibility that comes with the knowledge that we are all one? That's a hard one, only because there is no right or wrong. There's no shoulds or shouldn'ts. The 3D isn't bad. It isn't less than 5D. It's just different than 5D, the 5-dimensional way of thinking. It's not less, and we always have a tendency as humans, you do, as humans, to attach value to knowledge, value to knowing, value to being. There's no lesser value in being 3D than being 5D. It is a different mentality, but man is transitioning, and man is awakening, man is progressing to another state of being. And it's a conscious evolution. It's not happening to you, it's happening by choice. You can choose to stay in 3D. That's the whole thing. You have the choice. But now the possibility of going to 5D is there. So when you make that choice, how do you get there? By remembering who you are and letting go of the attachment and the illusion that there's separation. By thinking from your heart center. Now, again, back to the responsibility. Is there responsibility that goes along with 5D? No, there is not, in the most absolute sense of the word. The thing that needs to be prefaced here, or emphasized, reminded, is that when you operate from the perspective of unconditional love, your choices are all predicated from that perspective. So some things, some moral choices that people are saying, oh, well, if he was really living unconditional love, he would do this. If he was really living... The perspective of the person is completely different. So the choices that follow will also be reflective. It might be a good measuring stick for you to know, well, is that love or not? I think that's the question to ask. Is it love? Is it not love? That's the question that Karen's been asking her whole life. Is this love? Is this not love? Love in the purest sense of the word. So if you need to measure it, well, that's part of the process. It's not necessary because there's no right or wrong. So is there responsibility that goes along with living unconditional love? No, there's no responsibility. But unconditional love is unconditional love. And when you're living it, you're living it. That's all for now. Namaste.